All right, well, greetings everyone, and it is time for JP Newsday for War of the Visions. Yes, still doing coverage of this game. Of course I am. And today we have a pretty hefty update, but before we get into it, a friendly reminder that while I'm sure a ton of people are excited for another Story 3, another Story 3 characters will not be starting until the start of next month. So if you're getting wiggly thinking, oh, those 8 silhouettes we saw from the most recent live stream, those are going to be revealed soon, right, Umbra? Kind of. We do have some good news today that I think will get people pretty excited, but a bunch of news, so let's stop talking about it and start getting into it. So first off, class match for JP, unit cost of 260, kind of wrecking those 270 dreams that we had recently. But yeah, we got class match coming up, so that'll be a good chance for people to get a bunch more resources. Speaking of which, we have a series of new maps. First off, this one for Arena, which focuses around water units, and not only water units, but spear type units as well, which is pretty interesting, giving boosts to both of these classes, which should probably clue you in very quickly as to what we are going to be witnessing. So let's skip ahead and talk about our unit who will be coming to the game this time around, which is our Dragoon friend from the Hindra Nation, which honestly, this is a unit that we saw originally he's been in the story for a long time. He's still around, and I actually haven't played the most recent story update, so that isn't really as big of a Gernsback is his name. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but he does actually have a brand new main class, which will of course be more than likely seen on future units. So I'm hoping that it will be at least a little bit more of a reinvigoration of Dragoon and jumping type units. But of course that is yet to be seen, and we'll be taking a look quickly here. Now we also have Sniper as well as Nightblade, two that I feel pretty confident will be generally good for this unit. But other things to note, he is a 70 cost unit, which means that he is relatively hit. He is a permanent addition tool, and he's a new water spear user, which is a damage type that we have not seen represented in a very long time, which makes me wonder whether or not he is going to be super important. Spear is a damage type that is kind of a little bit not well represented recently, and let me just see here. I do believe that if we are talking about success of spear units lately, I do believe it has something to do with the Full Metal Alchemist vision. I'm going to try and bring it quickly as my memory is failing a little bit. Here. So yes, the Believers in the Bonds of Brotherhood, which was a slashing for job card with agility, as well as strike attack. Then we have Ties of Bonds of Brothers, which was not. And last but not least, we also have the Defenders of the Bonds of Brotherhood, was and not a piercing one. So yes, Believers in the Bonds of Brotherhood, probably going to be hurting a little bit for people who want to use this unit, since you can also pair this unit up with a more recent unit such as Preen, and probably have a good off, similar element but off damage type vision card and team that most are not prepared entirely to deal with. So that might be something to think about for water use. And for people who are saying another water unit so soon, well, yes, recently we've been seeing kind of this reverse order, so water is, I guess, next, is what it is. As for his own ability, piercing attack up by 15 and water attribute attack up by 15 for his master ability, so very offensive. Now, I have not actually taken a peek before doing this, kind of live, but also recorded. Dragoon Flash is his limit burst, destroys a barrier that reduces physical damage, and damages after reducing single attack resistance for 3 turns. A very offensive ability, not the widest range on it, so I'm curious whether this unit will have a ton of options for survivability, but needless to say, I think that a limit burst like this could be enabling for other single attacks, and definitely physical based teams. Second ability is Dispel Spear, which, after reducing target's single target resistance within range, remove all enhancement, I do believe. So Dispel on a AoE is kind of interesting. I like that a bit. You're also getting an actual effect off of it as well. You're getting medium damage, sure. The range isn't super high on this, but at least you're getting a Dispel here that is removing enhancements and potentially powering up future attacks too, which seems pretty nice. So, okay, seems pretty cool. Now, we have one more ability that we can dig into here, and then we'll have to wait for the rest of the abilities to show up later in the week. On Friday, as a matter of fact, so stay tuned for that. But Guard of the Dragon. When attacking an ally within the area surrounded by yourself for 3 turns, grant an effect that reduces the target's piercing attack resistance for 3 turns, restores own AP, creates a barrier that reduces physical damage 3 times, increases single target attack resistance for 3 turns. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at basically a survivability buff. It is a physical only barrier. It's not going to help magical. It does have a little bit of restoration of own AP. And this other one, attacking ally within area around yourself for 3 turns. It's interesting there isn't more details about this, but basically it seems like an aura effect in the same way of Bart's. But working towards pierce damage. So pretty interesting to say the least. And there is some synergy between water and earth, so I think I'm pretty happy with this unit. I'm not going to go so far as to say he's the best unit I've ever seen, but as an effective lower cost unit, if you're looking to make a spear team, this is a good new boost. The only question is how good the make will actually be, and whether it will really push pierce as a damage team. But I'm interested to see, and as you guys know, I do enjoy the water element, so I will be keeping a close eye on this, even if I can't pour any resources into it at the moment. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. There'll also be a new spear added to the game. This new spear, looking pretty sweet. Love the design of it. Hope that the 3D model matches up to how cool the artwork is. And it's just basically a weapon farm. So yes, we're also going to be having a guild event. Hooray! Those are always fun. Looks like fire characters will get HP and magic up, and water characters will get attack and some attack resistance up, as well as we have a specific damage type, the Knight group. So there you go, fire and water potentially fighting this one out. On top month. But of course, that is not everything. This is the news that I think, of course, everyone has been waiting for. Ashes of the Apocalypse Part 1 will be starting this week on Friday, and there isn't too terribly much to go over here. We essentially are looking at a new character right here. There might be some people who are not familiar with this character. Thankfully, I did a little bit of research. Varga or Vardia is the character in the background to the left. To the right is the King of Ash. The King of Ash being the potential central antagonist of this new story, side story, I should say, and another story. But Vardia is actually Astrius's form back when he was a warrior crystal. So will this be a story of how he died? Will this be there's one thing that we can all be for certain about, and that is that we are going to see this character end up on a banner sooner rather than later. Now, there were a bunch of different characters here. Unfortunately, I'll see if I can't bring up this because there actually is a really cool piece of artwork that I would like to share with you guys. This, I think, was shared or distributed through Twitter. Just like to get it into the proper place first. There you are. So yes, Lucio's battle versus the King of Ash. King of Ash, well, maybe a fire elemental character, could also just be a dark elemental character. So very interested to see how that is. But given this promo art, this could be our first of the 8 characters that we are going to be getting. And it'll be interesting to see really quickly if I can bring this image up. As I would just like to remind people that these were the silhouettes. Obviously, we know the King of Ash, and now the one above it is actually, no, it isn't. I was going to say that the second from the left on the bottom is the King of Ash, obviously. But it's actually the second from the right on the top left that is Varga or Valdia or Astrius 2.0, as we are probably going to end up calling it. So it's interesting to see already one of these characters. We'll probably have to wait till the middle of October to see another one. But it looks like we're going to have some spear characters in here, some range characters, maybe some dagger characters, and definitely some characters. So our first one being revealed already, and I would say that it's a pretty humdinger, a fan favorite character. And before he turned into just a not very nice person. So that is a look at the current state of the news for Japan. Of course, there will be banner news tomorrow, but it's basically going to be kind of what you would expect. A 70 cost banner with probably a guarantee on a 9-step for 18k if you want that character. However, 4th anniversary is coming up, and there'll probably be some easy chances to get some of these new 70 cards. So plan wisely, save your resources, and see you on Friday for more updates. Thanks so much for watching.